Welcome to the Build Business Acumen podcast, where we deliver practical knowledge and powerful guidance. Here is your futuristic host, Nathaniel Skula.
Well, today I am privileged to be joined by Nelly Sheen again. And Nelly Sheen I've been working with for a number of years, about 6 years actually. And she basically used to run a very large media company in Scandinavia, the largest media company there. She's now, I think, more of a journalist and a writer than a CEO these days. But all of that knowledge, it doesn't just disappear. So we're kind of deep into learning about new things, and obviously with this being a new year, don't worry if you're listening to this and you know maybe it's June or July or something, you're still going to get value from it, because we don't just talk about New Year's resolutions here. This is going to be quite an interesting conversation. So welcome, Nelly. It's lovely to see you again, and we're going to talk about the ultimate everyday focus and with no regrets, which we all seem to have regrets, but it's a matter of just, I don't know, kind of reframing those really in many ways if we don't achieve them.
Yes, thank you, Nat, for welcoming me back again to your studio. Yes, regrets. If we were focusing on regrets, we wouldn't have time to do anything else, would we? But I've been thinking, over Christmas, New Year, you have some time off between eating, and like myself, you have been working a lot leading up to Christmas, and I know that many people have been very tired, especially this Christmas, I think, and saying, oh, it's only 2 weeks left now for Christmas, only 1 week, and hang in there and work. And then Christmas comes and it sort of save us for 24 hours, and then comes the sale and we're back in the rut again. And I was thinking that we don't really get time over to actually take a little bit of a break and step aside, because we are so identified with our jobs. And, our title is the persona that we are. And when we leave work, work is coming home with us. Like a dog, we just have it in the lead. It is walking with us home. So then we carry on after dinner. And also that, when you started to be too sensitive, if you're getting criticism, the more you have worked, and then you think, okay, this wasn't so good, so I do this over the weekend. And then it goes a whole month and you haven't had any time. So I've been thinking about this identification, and actually now when the new year has started, to think about not being too attached to your job. There is actually a person, outside your job that maybe you haven't cared that much about. So that's my thought number one that I actually got over these days. Don't be attached to your work.
Yeah, I'm nodding away here, because a lot of these corporations, I mean, they're running downsizing programs. They are, streamlining, and it's happening with all the big companies, or onwards and onwards. I mean, it's a matter of churn to them. It's a matter of, it's business as usual, right? So at the end of the day, if you are just that person at work and you give way too much time to it, all of the rest of your life can suffer. And I think to maintain focus throughout the year, people need to really have clear goals of actually where they want to get to in their career, and also in their business, depending on where you are. Some people listen to this, may be starting a business, they may be starting a side hustle, they may have a business or a side hustle already, or they may be an employee. So we kind of cater to quite a lot of different types of people, but there's no way to kind of get over burnout if you're always working. So you've really got to make the time. You've actually got to make that time to revisit your goals. I mean, look, I'm not into New Year's resolutions. When people ask me like, oh, what are your New Year's resolutions? And all of my Facebook, you've seen it. All these people, well, I'm so grateful. I achieved this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, but like, so what? Like, okay, great. You're writing a list for all your Facebook friends to see how great you are. And it's like, but actually, if you focus on where you are, you don't need to tell anybody. You need to just keep calm. Don't tell anybody. Just focus on where you want to go. And you're going to have problems along the way. You're going to have, deaths in the family, right? You're going to have, you're going to lose your job. You're going to be promoted, right? You're going to be scared out of your mind to take on a new job, right? Which you've never done before. But someone's hired you and they know that you're great and you can do it. So it's like, how on earth, with all this pressure, how on earth do people stay focused on their life without being lost in the world of a job?
I think it's very interesting that you're actually taking that up, because I've been thinking along the same line, especially when you're meeting distant family that you may not have seen for a while, and you talk about your jobs and family matters and everything. And everything is so focused around this Christmas. And then, of course, New Year comes, the New Year's Eve, that everything is going to happen on that particular day, almost forgetting that we have 364 other days as well going. And there is so much pressure on, and people come up with all kind of resolutions, and by the time it's actually 4th of January today, some people have already starting to leave them. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we have 365 days. Ease back a bit and take actually every day as New Year, and set up something, a goal. Of course, you have long-term goals, but set up something that you are going to do. Don't pressure yourself too much, because we also know that we think that we are so efficient and we're doing this, we're doing that. And as you just said, tick, 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 tick. And really, have we been business efficient? I wonder that. Or have we just kept ourselves preoccupied, doing a lot of stuff? So for this year, I don't have any resolutions, and that is probably a good thing, because I never seem to be able to live up to them, or coming 5th of January, I've forgotten what it was. So, but this year I'm doing it differently. So I'm taking one day at a time, actually, and go up a bit earlier. So by now I'm going up 4:30, and I'm doing my half an hour I spend on going through my day that I'm going to have ahead of me. And when since I have everything very clear for this day, I can be super relaxed, actually, when the day occurs.
Wow. That's an early start, Nelly. I mean, I used to do the 5 a.m. thing. I did that for what, like 10 years or something, 15 years, right? And train 2 hours every day, but I can't do it anymore. I don't know. Like, since I moved here to Croatia, like my life's totally changed. I don't have to be up at any
close to the
time.
beach.
Well, yeah, there is that, but it's not. I don't have to be up at any specific time, and I find it really, really difficult to get up, because I'm so physically exhausted from loads of different exercise like jiu-jitsu and weight training. I mean, literally, we didn't have a break over Christmas with jiu-jitsu. Like, there was jiu-jitsu, like, Christmas Eve or whatever it was. Like, I'm not sure I made that one, but I definitely made the one before that. But it's like, there was a break with weight training, and I went back in there yesterday, did some weight training, and it was like a week off, right? And and I'm hurting today, but it's like, the thing is that if you get to Christmas, you're like, oh, I'm going to take a few weeks off training. It's like, you know that you're never, getting back to training is like super hard, right? And it doesn't matter what exercise you do, it's going to be super hard to get back into routine. But it's like, these things, the daily habits that we have, formulate our lives, right? So they've proven that even if you start exercising like say that's something that you want to focus on for this year. You can just start by 5 minutes a day. And then after 30 days, that becomes a habit. And then you can grow that habit into longer periods of exercise per day. And you know me, I'd exercise every day for, 25 years pretty much. Right. And
at least.
Yeah. And so for me, that's like oxygen for me. Right. Other people, it might be really, really hard and they might dread it. And we've all been there. Like every so often I dread it. And I'm like, but actually, I don't want to go to jiu-jitsu and get choked by some visiting black belt that shows up, right, a lot of the time. But do you know what? If I don't go, I'm going to feel worse than how I feel when I get back, despite the bruises and whatever else, right? Like because it's like I know that I have to do it. But if you're not at that point, and it's like I've got people on my Facebook that can oh, I'm fat. This guy, he posts a thing there before Christmas. Oh, I'm fat. Well, what do you think I should do about it? And it's like everyone's going, but do you know what made me laugh is that all his friends, right, are going, don't worry, it's okay. You'll be all right. It's fine to be a bit overweight. And I was just like, no, it's not. You're fat. Like, pull yourself together, right? Go and join a jiu-jitsu class. Go 4 times a week, stop eating rubbish, stop eating a load of sugar, do some exercise. And I was just totally brutal with this guy, right? And actually we exchanged a few direct messages and he was really pleased that because I'm 46, right, 47 this year, and he's 50. And I said, look, by the time you're 60, you could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, perhaps, right? If you do the work. Oh. And it's the same with career. All of these things, they all bring you in the right direction towards focus, because if you can focus on your exercise, then you know that that's taken care of. So then you focus on a different area of your life. It's like, okay, so then you need to focus on your relationships, right? For example, with family, friends, And then it's like, okay, so now I know I need to focus on my work and my work relationships. So everybody's going to have certain areas of their lives that aren't working for them. But it's about working out what particular thing isn't working and saying, well, I want to make that better. It's not about making a list for me of, specific, measurable, achievable goals. Whenever anyone says SMART goal setting to me, I just go, I literally just turn off immediately. My brain, as soon as you say, oh, SMART, achievable, measurable, I literally almost have a breakdown, right? And a lot of people listening.
When anyone is saying, Nelly, SWOT analysis, that is going to blank. I don't want to focus on my weaknesses. Please, can I just focusing on my strength and let them grow? But I fully agree with you about the physical activity. It's so essential, and I am going in and out of different sports. I can be one that I can go swimming. Usually I go and swim 1 kilometer a day. And that is my basic activity. And then when you have done that, your brain is so alert, and then you can get working and do whatever you have to do. And I was just thinking, when you started to talk about the different areas, we were actually mentioning that in our latest book, the Mental Health and Work-Life Balance. We were talking about those different areas. And I mean, that is still very valid. I mean, it just came out before Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's very valid to still read upon that. And I'm sure we are going to write similar books or more books in the depths about several of this area during this year, actually.
Absolutely. And what I'll do, I've got some sort of useful blog that I will drop in the show notes. So I'll pop a link somewhere, and you can always visit legacymediahub.com if you want to look and just type into Google legacymediahub.com, goal setting or something like that. And you can find there's loads of useful information, or reach out to me somewhere and actually ask me. I'll be happy to help, or reach out to Nelly Sheen on LinkedIn. We've got so many resources that it's actually quite crazy. So, but thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much, Nelly, for your time. We're gonna be doing another one of these next week. So yes. Yeah, we're quite excited about helping everyone with all this amazing knowledge.
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to everyone who is watching or listening. Thank you so much. And we appreciate your feedback. Very funny, actually. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe, and wherever you prefer, share with your friends. And if you enjoyed the show, drop us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen.